Hello, I'm Don Thompson. I'm the Recording Technologies instructor here at Portland Community College. The recording program here at PCC, students come in and they start in the analog program. The reason we chose analog was because the learning curve is short and we can get to the art of what we do and not get mired down in the technology of how to do something. It's really easy for the technical side to completely overshadow the art of what we're trying to achieve here. So in the analog class, we get this really short learning curve that just allows students to go get hands-on right away, go right to work.
Yeah, because we're mixing it down. Yeah. So then we just need to tell how much and on which side.
It's been a pretty successful program. We also offer a digital program that starts in the winter. So after a term of analog where they've gotten all the physics, they can also add the digital program where they learn how digital technology influences exactly what we're trying to do while we're recording. Because it's a new toolkit with a lot of different tools, and we struggle to make sure we keep the art on the upside of that too, because it's really easy to get mired down in the OS of the computer and the software DAW that you're using and where all the buttons are versus why are we here, what are we trying to do, how does that musically fit into what we're doing here, and how do I use these tools in order to make it a better musical piece. I used to write lyrics back in the day. I mean, I've always enjoyed music, even as a kid, but I wrote lyrics, and I eventually had to learn to play guitar in order to make a song. There were lots of local gigs. I started playing back in the day of elevator shoes, silk shirts, gold chains, and afro out to here, with my black Les Paul. Learning to record, it changed my perception of music in just about every way you can imagine. It's a really valuable tool when you have to go back and listen to yourself and figure out what you actually sound like and how people are going to perceive you, which is a completely different experience than standing up and playing live where your mistakes sort of go out into oblivion. When you record, they're there and you can't escape them. In the early 80s, I went to work for Sun Music, building guitar amps, PA gear, and that's what really started me down the technical side of things. I was actually never interested in education. My dad was a teacher, and I couldn't go there, as most kids. About 10 years after he retired, the school called me and recruited me to resurrect his old program and make it viable again. Wow, what do I love about teaching this subject the most? I'd have to say the students mostly. It's really the reason that I really enjoy coming here to PCC. The students are always on the edge of it. I get to learn from them. Every class, every project, they're always pushing the envelope, being on the edge of things, and that keeps me fresh. There are a lot of styles and listening acuities, different levels that all the students have. And the last thing that I want to do is create a bunch of clones of myself where the students are trying to do work that makes me happy because they think they'll get a good grade. One of the coolest things about the digital program is we spent a term on sound for picture. It has manifests itself in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes the video production people bring us projects and we have to create all the Foley and the score for it. Or I had a sound for picture project that I was working on, and the need arose to have all of the environmental sounds in place, except for one thing had to be gone, and it was over the top of the entire track. And so what I ended up having to do was recreate the entire environment using other means in order to recreate it so that that one element would be gone from the mix. editing and between picture and audio is different. When you're editing picture, you're always cutting to the action, and when you're editing audio, you're cutting away from the action, and then you have to blend those two in order to get the transitions to be smooth.
We're still rolling, right?
Oh heavens!